What's up, y'all? Back again for Mazda Chronicles Part 6. Always keeping the action alive. So, wanted to give y'all a couple quick updates. I was able to get the pilot bearing finally out of the back of the engine after 8 hours of fighting with it. Had to try to use the grease trick. That did not work at all. Put a bunch of bread in there, soft bread, pilot bearing wouldn't come out. Fought with it, even bought a 2-pound slide hammer at Harbor Freight with a 2-prong reverse fork, slid it in there, broke the actual slide hammer itself, had to return that to Harbor Freight for a manufacturer defect. Oops. Anyways, got a new tool for that. Was finally able to get the pilot bearing out. With you real quick. So we got the pilot bearing out. All nice and clean up in there. Clean the whole back of the engine. All nice and sparkly. Ready to remove that rear main seal and replace it with the new one. As you can see, the whole back of the engine mating surface is completely clean. So got the new wheel bearings and hubs assemblies in. Went over to friends, father-in-laws, and pressed those out. Appreciate it, Mr. Eric. If you ever need anything for grading or land clearing, call Metter Grading in Ackworth. Super nice guy. Got the the sway bar end links installed. These are the new ones right here. Got everything cleaned up, wiped off. They look a lot better. Had a ripped boot on the other side. So now every single suspension component is completely brand new up in here. Also, whenever I went and put the new wheel bearings and hubs in, cleaned up the entire steering knuckle itself, got the old ABS sensor out, which reads off the magnet on the back side of the wheel hub itself. So got all that all cleaned up, every mating surface, used wire brush all up inside all the holes here, so everything's nice and clean, ready to be reinstalled. Both sides are done. All good and ready to go. Got the sway bar end links in there nice and ready. You can see the part about that. Wanted to make a quick note about my setup here on how I turned my own rotors. So you can see that I completely decked these rotors completely flat. Used a 60 grit flat wheel on a 4.5-inch grinder. Then we moved over to a more of a Scotch-Brite type pad on a Ziz wheel, and then finished with a DA 80 grit. So this is an old wheel bearing. Yes, that's a C-clamp holding it, and a piece of trim board, because my vise is not big enough in order to hold it. So these are the ideas that we have to come up with. That's a 3 or 4-inch C-clamp. Socks to make sure that we keep the C-clamp in good condition, you know. Wanted to follow you up on a couple things. So got a couple new toys here. So in order to get the pilot bearing actually out, this is a kit off of Amazon, believe it or not. So I got this kit off Amazon. What it is it's called a blind hole internal bearing puller, collet style puller. So what it does is we had a blind hole being the back of the engine there, couldn't get to it. So when I tried the slide hammer and the other two pieces, you can see that I only had 2 points of contact right there with the actual puller. So this style puller right here has a U-shape and a slide hammer. Is that you slide it inside of the bearing, and then you screw in this part right here into this collet that expands the end and holds a good 360 degrees all the way around the edge there. So you have a nice firm hold and grab. I was able to just use the U-shaped piece here and hold on the back of the crankshaft and pull it right out. So easy with the right tool. Finally got that, so add that to the collection. Also got a new torque wrench, another new toy. So this is the one I got right here. This is a 1/2-inch 50-pound to 250-pound torque wrench. It's very nice. It comes with all the calibration specifications right here. 1/2 inch, Real nice build, nice case. It's got latching handles, easy for on the go. Nice handle. Pull down the collar right there in order to actually advance your setting on there. Real nice, clicks in every single time. Add that to the collection of the Craftsman's there. This one only went up to 150 foot-pounds, and I needed 190 in order to put the CV shafts back in. Luckily, this was on sale for $49.47 at Lowe's. Not sure why it was like half price, but that's how I got this guy and my 3/8 right here. So 1/4 inch. So a couple new tools, getting it all situated. So tomorrow work on the clutch master cylinder and clutch slave cylinder right there, and get that rear main seal done, and we'll be putting the transmission back in. The lower sway bar end links did not want to come out. The uppers came out quite okay. That's the hole up there. There's the upper sway bar end link. Got the lower there. It does have an Allen head inside of it. It's 14 outer. I've tried every way, including vice grips, to hold on. Can't hold on to it, so just had to rip out the old Ziz wheel. So we're gonna go to cutting. Made a little diaper in here. Try to protect everything that's already all brand new. Them wheel bearings and hubs look good. I hate to get metal shavings all in them, but at least this is getting done. Get to it. Sway bar end links. Just wanted to show what they're supposed to look like with the Allen head there in the middle. Little kind of small bar. The passenger side bottom boot was already ripped. That's why I went ahead and replaced these. This was the last suspension and steering component on the whole front end that I did not replace. So you'll see that I had to cut the whole end of it off. The new ones came packed really well. Came with good instructions on the bag of what the torque spec is for them. They're Moogs. Real nice part. A lot beefier than the factory ones. Both ends. These are also greasable. The one thing I don't like about these is that they're not powder coated black. I think they're pickled steel, just still like a galvanized type coating dip, like a hot dip, but I would have liked the black. Throw the ball joint back in, or tie rod in. All shiny and new. Wheel bearings, wheel hubs, all pressed in. It's real nice. Spent a lot of time cleaning them up. Slide this guy in. This guy in. Bolt goes right in. Neato. So glad I cleaned all that up. Makes it easier for it to go back together. Quick and easy peasy. Throw the new ABS sensor in there. Put my brake caliper bracket back on and everything. Get that pilot bearing out. And I'll have the transmission and CV shafts back in here. Ready to go. There's a little bit. Have to retorque back down. My bolts here and up underneath here, I had to loosen those in order to get the arm to come down enough. Or else I was fighting the new bushings spring rate on holding it all together, so I have to just do that real quick. But other than that, she's good to go. All brand new parts.
Let me know when. Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's cool. Front facing.
Well, you want me to go ahead and crank him all the way?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just gotta get those nuts started. It's a lot easier if you know that's not gonna come popping out at you. Go ahead and press down.
It's all my weight.
There we go. Alright, come on.
Scared me a little bit.
Here, just slip in. That's real nice. That's probably the easiest anyone's ever had them suckers go. All threads cleaned up. That boy just goes right on. I do have the new sway bar end links to put on. Other than that, this is all new suspension components from the frame out. Quite a thing, but never have to worry about this going out on my wife ever again.
My wife.
My wife. She's very pretty. This is a real highly tuned shirt. Very precision made for wicking, moisture wicking. Well, that's the whole thing back together. Drop the caliper bracket on this side too, and measure a little bit. Try to get these inner tie rods a little more set to where she's straight. The other ones were seized on, so didn't have a good idea as to how far in or out these guys could go. Let's see what this looks like. Give her a little visual alignment. Looks like come back another turn or two. Looking pretty square. Yeah, pretty square. If it fits, it ships. Alright, got both these on, pilot bearings, and let's go. Put that castle note on right there. The little castle, little princess chills right at the top. Waiting on our Prince Charming to come and get her. Alright. Shiny and brand new. Also got the rotors all decked out. So cleaned them all. Got them all leveled. Got ready to go on. Both sides.